everyone, and welcome to my channel. As you can see from the heading today, we are going to be talking about living below your means and 3 practical ways in which you could do that. I'm of course speaking from experience how we live below our means as a one-income family, because I am at home with our 2 children. And yeah, so if you like that kind of content, make sure you stick around and you can hear what I have to say. Right over here, I have my notes, so I might just keep referring to them, looking at my notes. So first of all, I kind of wanted to define very loosely what it means to live below your means. What does that even mean? How does that even look? Right? So living below your means is not living paycheck to paycheck, number one. And it's also, I would say, having money that you are able to save each and every single month. Now, I'm not a finance expert, but I think this is like I said, very loosely, this is what it means. Okay, so what is the first practical tip that I will share today? The first one is to reduce your social media consumption. Or you could even cut it out depending on you, or cut it out for a certain amount of a period of time. Now, I want to share that I had followed, I think last year, I had followed like a fashion person showing us clothing and what to do. And I remember going to the stores. Actually, I saw like the mannequins wearing a particular item that the person showed me, and I was like, oh, let me buy that item. And I bought it. And you know, I'm not a clothing person. And I got home and I'm like, this purchase is actually very, very fashion forward, very trendy, and it's not something that I would have normally bought if I hadn't had that influence of social media. So influencer marketing is really powerful, and it really does get to us. It really does propel us to actually buy. So I would definitely say, number one, reduce your social media consumption, because every time we get onto these apps, not every time, but many times when we do get onto these apps, we feel inadequate. We feel like I need to get this item so that I can fit in, so that I can be trendy, just because this person has it. And I'm telling you, you just can never get enough of consuming. There's just never enough. There's always something new. There's always something trendy. There's always something fashionable. There's always the latest version of a particular thing. So that is my first tip, practical way to get started, is to reduce the social media consumption. My second tip is to acquire no more debt. So we are actually debt free. We do not have any debt. And debt is actually the opposite of living below your means, because when you take out debt, you actually are living beyond your means. And the interest that you pay is there to show that you are actually living beyond your means. So do not fall into the trap of getting into debt. I think, of course, we can talk about good debt and bad debt. We know the big purchases that many of us cannot afford unless we save for extensive periods of time to buy. And then there are other items that we actually can afford if we were just a little bit more patient, if we just saved for long enough, if we delayed our gratification, and then we would actually get to that point. So we accumulate no new debt. Everything that we buy, we will either buy secondhand, or we will just save for it, be patient, and delay the gratification. We are going to get it. Something else that helps with not getting into debt is making do of what you already have, or just doing without. Like if you have something, make do, use it to its fullest until you cannot use it anymore, or just try to live without that thing, right? And then thirdly is contentment. Thirdly is contentment, and contentment is a mindset shift. I want to read, of course, a verse, Philippians, we all know, 4 and verse 11. If you are Christian, I'm Christian, so I'm always going to come with a biblical perspective. And it says, not that I speak in regard to need, for I have learned in whatever state I am to be content. Contentment is really a cure for consumerism, and it's a cure for not getting into debt, and it's a cure for living below your means. For us to be content, I think we're just constantly being advertised to, sold information. So much is just coming in and so much is happening to us. We not only have our neighbors and our friends that we're trying to keep up with, but we have the whole world, you know. to keep up with the whole world of social media. But contentment is at the center, that no matter what is happening, no matter where we are in our lives, in our situations, we need to be content with where we are, content and believe that it is God's purpose and He knows why He's doing what He's doing. So I hope that these 3 practical ways have encouraged you, and that you can start living below your means through these ways. And definitely make sure you share some tips and comments with me on how you are living below your means, if you are, or which step you are going to implement first in this regard. Okay, thank you. See you.